Here's my first B-roll setup. 3 lenses on my desk. I want to make a focus pull from the first lens to the last lens. Hi guys, my name is Matti Sulanto and I'm a photographer and a YouTube content creator. And in this video I'm going to show you some tips on how to make your videos and also photographs look better and how to get a consistent good look to your videos. And one of the key factors here is the lighting, of course, and because this video is sponsored by Pixel technology, I'm going to use the Pixel P80 LED panel to show you some lighting tips. This LED panel comes with barn doors that are super helpful, as I'm going to demonstrate in just a moment. There is also a built-in diffuser here that creates more pleasant light than a panel without a diffuser. This also has a variable color temperature and some cool lighting effects, and I'm also going to demonstrate those in just a moment, and I'm going to show you how you can improve your video quality with all these nice features. There's also a remote controller included with the light, and you can also download a phone app that you can use to control the light or many lights or light groups if you have more than one light. And this remote control feature is really useful and practical, especially if you work alone like I do most of the time. But now let's finally get to the point and let me show you my first lighting tip with this Pixel P80 LED panel. Okay, here's my first lighting tip. Bounce the light off the ceiling. You can also bounce it off the wall if you have a white or neutral colored wall nearby. But before you even start, try to minimize the ambient available light the best you can. For example, I have a window here and I like to cover the window because I can't control the light outside. And when I cover the window, I have a full control here inside. This is a very easy way to light your video and get consistent results. The only downside is that the light you get is a little bit flat. But then again, it allows you to move around in the frame and the lighting stays the same even if you move around a little bit. But now let's get to my next lighting tip, and I'm gonna show you a little bit more dramatic light. Here I'm using the barn doors on the Pixel P80 light to create almost like a spotlight on me. Those barn doors prevent the light from spilling over on the background or other parts of the picture. Let me show you what happens if I open up those barn doors a little bit. As you can see, there is much more light now on the background, and also I'm a little bit overexposed too because there's more light coming through the barn doors. I'm gonna close them back the way they were so we can get this spotlight type of light. Also, the remote controller is really handy here because I can control the amount of light while I'm looking at the screen of my camera, and I can adjust the exposure and the brightness of my picture without having to move and reach for the light itself. So this remote controller comes in very handy, and you can do the same thing of course with the phone app. With this type of light you may want to have some light also in the background. I have my 2 monitors there, but if you don't have monitors or if you don't want to have monitors there, just put any light there, any household light like a reading lamp or something will do just fine. But I think it may look better if you have something also somewhere there back in the background. But feel free to experiment with the barn doors, and also you may want to move the light a little bit to fine-tune the lighting the way you want it. Let me open up the barn doors a little bit and let me move the light just a little bit. And now we have a slightly different lighting again. Let me just fine-tune the brightness with the remote controller again so that it's not too bright. There we go. Just a small adjustment, opening up the barn doors a little bit, moving the light, and it's again a different type of light. So always remember to experiment and fine-tune the lighting the way you want. And now let's move to my next lighting tip and film some B-roll footage. Here's my first B-roll setup. 3 lenses on my desk. I want to make a focus pull from the first lens to the last lens. And for this I'm going to use the RGB lighting effect because I think it's going to make the focus pull slightly more interesting. And I can choose the lighting effect very easily with the phone app, like so. There are 2 versions of the RGB effect. This is the fast and this is the slow one, but I'm gonna use the fast effect because I want the light to change during the actual focus pull. But before I start, I'm going to add, let me zoom this in for the final framing. I'm going to add a little, just a simple piece of paper reflector here just outside of the frame, so it adds a little bit of reflection here on the right side of the first lens. Now let's make the focus pull and see how it comes out. And here is the final focus pull. And I don't know about you, but I think it looks a lot better with the color effect than without the color effect. Let me show you how this phone app works, because this app is really nice. I can of course choose the color temperature of the light and the magenta green bias, the output of the light. These are all very basic things. But I can also choose whatever color I want just by tapping the color chart on the app. But I can also use the camera on my phone to choose the color. Let me point it at my sweater like so, and we get a blue light. Let's do it again. I have a red brush here. I'm going to point the camera at the red brush and we get a red light. And of course I can get all the really nice effects here, like an ambulance, police car, lighting, and SOS, and all these cool color effects. And I think this app is really nice and practical too. Here is another very easy trick that you can use to make your B-roll footage look a little bit more interesting. For this I removed the barn doors from the light because these are removable. I'm just gonna put them here. And here's my Pixel P80 light on the table. Here's the camera, or my B-roll subject, a camera, and here's my video camera. Let's turn on the light first, about 20% power, like so. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to move this light over my B-roll subject like so. And with this, the B-roll footage is going to look much more interesting than just a static subject. And this is very easy to do. You can move the light any way you like, and you can even use some of the color effects if you like. This is a very neat and simple trick to make your B-roll footage a little bit more interesting. I hope you enjoyed this little lighting tutorial with me and the Pixel P80 LED panel. I really like this panel. I think it has a lot of power, it has a lot of features, and I especially like the phone app that makes it so easy to use all these features on this light. And just in case you got interested in this light, I'll put the link down below so you can check it out. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video.